Don't move. Turn your fantasy football into reality. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. So, how did you do? How many did you win? I won one. That's a little lower than normal. I usually have 10 teams and usually win at least 2. I was in 2 finals. I won the one I wasn't expecting to win, and I lost. I got my butt kicked in the other one pretty royally, thoroughly. But other than that, every one of my teams won their last game. But it wasn't in the final. I won some B championships, some 5-6 games, and some 3s. So I'm okay with the fact that my teams started terribly this year, but as time went on, they got better. But the season is over, well, at least in most cases. What do you do now? Well, Dynasty season just beginning. This is the regular season is over. The championship, congratulations, has been handed out. Everybody hopefully has their money in hand and looking forward to the next season of fantasy football in Dynasty. Dynasty is a little different animal than redraft. The question was once asked to me, and I had a smart-ass answer, of course, was, what's the difference between redraft and Dynasty? And I said, well, in Dynasty, you get to keep your mistakes and let them haunt you for years. Reminded me of my OBJ for 3 first-round pick trade a few years ago. Let's carry on from there. The real answer, though, is that now that the regular season or the season of Dynasty is over, fantasy-wise, now Dynasty season really begins, because what you do now is going to make all the difference on how successful your season is next year. So what do? The first thing that I do as I go out, as I've mentioned before, and I got it right here, I go out and I buy a book, a good one I'm not going to throw away. I take this book and I write down, every day I write down a different team. So today was the first day I've had it, and I wrote down a team this morning that I have, and this team won the B championship, outscored every team in the league over the last 3 weeks of the playoff season, but it was too late. I was already eliminated. So I have high hopes for next year. But I do need a wide receiver, 1, and I do need a better tight end than what I have. So that's my off season with that. I also need to improve my wide receiver core, because the running backs are great, the quarterbacks are fine, and everything else on the team is pretty good. I just want to improve my running backs. Or my wide receivers, pardon me. Well, running backs are always there. But so I have to figure out what the team needs to get better. I've done that. And now I go back to the notes that I've made during the season, because I'm always making little notes. They're all over the place. Drives everybody around here nuts. What's that note? Or what's that? Yeah, I've got them. In fact, I got sticky notes all over the place here. I got so many of them that, I should open a store. But I regress. So during the season, I'm looking for guys who are going like this. High draft picks in your last year's rookie draft that started off like this, and people kind of gave up on or have a distaste for them now, and they're looking at cutting some guys so they can draft some new ones, and these are the guys that I look at and say, I want that guy. So I'm willing to spend my round 3, 4, and 5 picks to get these players before the draft. I'd rather draft someone who has some upside, who was used last year, and I know where their standing is, and I've seen them play, than risk a college player coming to the NFL in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round of our draft and hoping that at least he gets to play. So these are the 10 guys that I would target for this off season. Some of them are going to be harder to get than others. Mike Wilson. He didn't play a lot for Arizona this year, but I like the guy, and he's only rostered in 53%. And the last couple of weeks of the season, he started to come on and get active. Hollywood didn't play, and you saw what Michael Wilson can do, so I'm after him. Xavier Gipson, I've been after him all season. New York Jets, easy to get off waivers during the season, but if you don't have him on your team and you would like to have him on your team, remember the quarterback upgrade that's coming next year for the Jets. And this is a quick guy, the kind of guy that they've been gadgeting most of the year, and he's been doing a little better. He's on that upward, trajectory. Darius Davis is the same. Now, his situation with the Chargers is really good because, as I've mentioned before, Herbert's going from like $5 million a year to $45 million a year. The difference is $40 million in salary money, and guess what? Keenan Allen and Mike Williams' total salary is $40 million. So there's an opportunity for a young wide receiver there. And as the season went on, they used him more and more and more and more. That's what you're looking for. Trey Palmer and Trey Tucker, the secret's kind of probably out on them now, but as the season progressed, I made an effort to get them. I managed to get some shares of both, and I'm pretty happy about that. But there's still only 40 or 45% of the people in the league have these guys, so they're available. Parker Washington and Wicks from Green Bay, they're both over 70%, a little harder to get, but I think that those have some good upside for the future. They might have to pay a third-round pick to get those, or maybe in a combo trade or something like that. But I like those guys and their upside. And then we've got two guys that didn't really show me much during the year, but what I saw I liked. And Bo Melton is not a new guy. He's been around for a few years. He was in Seattle before. 3% own him, and that's what he deserves to be. He deserves to be a 3% guy, but if you've got a spot on the end of your bench, you saw what he could do for Green Bay there at the end of the season, and whether it was just a situational thing or whether he actually is that good, it's worth having him just to see, and it wouldn't cost you much. Brandon Johnson in Denver was up and down all year, but quarterback play was, so I would keep an eye on him as well. He's only 19% of people have him on their rosters in different leagues. And the one that I like, and I just learned how to say his name this morning, Andre Iosivas. And I sure hope I got that right. But anyway, that's the young wide receiver for Cincinnati who, as the season has gone on, has been playing more and more. And like, wow, that guy's pretty good. Good hands, fast. I like this guy. So that's a guy that I'm targeting. Only 15% of people have him. But in his situation there, I doubt you're going to see Higgins, Boyd, and Chase as the three wide receivers there next year. So I think that you got a good opportunity there for a guy to step in and be pretty good. For the meantime, enjoy the final weekend of the NFL regular season. Duke's up. Carry on. I'm CJ. Please like and subscribe, and we'll head on into 2024. That's the Dirty Landry experience.